and welcome to another episode of the Girl Read Your Bible Study Group's Author in the Spotlight, where we shine the light on Christian authors blessing others through their words. I'm your host, Tara Borgona, founder of the Girl Read Your Bible Study Group, and today I'm so excited to introduce you to this week's author, whose middle grade novel, Cosmic Chaos, won first place in children's fiction from Bookvana Awards in 2016. And she has another book soon to be released called, and I do so love this title, Sasquatch Loves Bacon Day. The bacon-loving and award-winning author herself, Carole Marie Shelton. Carole, this is such a joy to welcome you to the show. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Oh, this is great. Now, before we get started, I want to share that as someone who adores children and has worked as an elementary teacher in the past, your book, Cosmic Chaos, greatly appealed to the mother and teacher in me. This is such a fun, faith-based, futuristic middle grade novel that took me on a time-traveling adventure all the way back to the Garden of Eden, and then up to the moon, and then back again. Your creativity inspires me to want to be a better writer, which is exactly why I'm so excited to have this chance to interview you today. So thank you again for being on the show. Now, how about we start off with you sharing a little bit about yourself?
Sure. So my name is Carole Marie Shelton, and I live in Oregon. We're in a little historic town that's just really adorable. We love it here. I have 4 kids. 2 are actually adults now, and I still have 2 teen boys at home, and great kids. They're all very creative too.
That's
And
awesome.
I work at a conflict resolution center,
Oh,
and
wow. Okay.
I'm a program coordinator.
That's fantastic. Now, what first stirred your interest in becoming a children's book or middle grade author specifically? And I also wanted to ask, for those who may be unfamiliar with the term middle grade, if you could explain that as well.
Middle grade is for readers that are ages 8 to 12, typically. There are some strong readers about age 7 who will read into that age category bracket.
Okay.
But mostly it's just targeted for a specific age span of readers.
Sure. Gotcha. So what first really stirred your interest in that area, in writing for those children, those specific ages?
Yeah, well, I have always loved story and telling stories and reading books, and I've always really been into that.
Uh-huh.
And one day I was reading a book by John MacArthur, and it was
Oh,
talking
yes.
about as a Christian, you should be sharing your faith. You should be going out, you should be telling people
Mm,
about Jesus and expressing that and doing it often.
absolutely.
And I am a quiet introvert. I didn't feel like I could be someone who's just going out and just sharing with anybody and everybody. So I was praying about that, and God said, because I was like, how can I do this? And God said, I want you to write. And so I was like, I can totally do that. So I started down that path. I had no idea what I was supposed to write or what
Oh,
direction to take. I just started writing anything and everything, took a few online
oh,
classes. And then one night I had a dream, and I'm sure it was from God, and I was the author of this picture book. My name was on the cover, and it was unfolding, the pages were turning, and I was experiencing this beautiful story. And I didn't get to see how it ended because I was woken up by my daughter at the time.
oh,
But I woke up from that dream and I was like, I think God wants me to be a children's book author. And
yes.
so from that point going forward, I put all my effort, all my energy and focus into going to kidlit conferences, writing for kids, learning anything and everything that I could about the writing craft, jotting down tons of ideas. And that's what I've been doing since then.
I love hearing all these stories, how all of you authors that I've interviewed so far really start out in your writing, and so much of the time it is definitely God. I mean, obviously, being a Christian writer, that's going to be, divinely directed. So thank you. Now, why don't you go ahead and share a brief overview of both your books?
Sure. So Cosmic Chaos is about a boy named Logan. He's 12 years
Mhm.
old, and he lives on the moon. And he's
Mhm.
allergic to the moon dust,
Ah,
and which makes him different from the other kids. And he's apart from his mom on Earth. She's a scientist, and she's down there. He's up there. He wants to see her. He has lost
okay.
contact, and
Mm.
there's kind of a mystery going on there. and he has to do his homework. And these kids, they go to school where there are all these robots, they have home robots, so all of his
Hmm.
homework has to be done through the robots. And he ends up with a faulty one that's glitching, and he doesn't realize that there's a hidden component inside the robot, the new one that he just received, that ends up causing him to time travel every time he's trying to do his homework.
Oh my
So
goodness.
it's just glitching very badly, ends up back in the Garden of Eden, ends up connecting with this character named Amy, and all these different things are happening. And meanwhile, his dad is trying to come up with this plan to help them get off the moon before it's
Hmm.
afraid if it gets locked down, he'll never see his mom again.
I did want to mention, of course, that's the one I read, which from the start, Cosmic Chaos had me hooked. And I found myself getting pulled deeper and deeper into Logan's struggle for a better life. Now, I also loved how Logan being on a journey for a better life, which to me, of course, is a faith journey. He discovers God, the truths of the Bible, his faith, and the power of prayer along the way. I mean, how awesome is that? Now, while I do appreciate Logan, I've got to be honest, I think my favorite character, however, is Amy. She's
Ah,
always the one to come up with the brilliant ideas. And honestly, I don't know what Logan would do without her.
right, right. She's a
Their
great sidekick.
misadventures, oh, absolutely, absolutely. Their misadventures take us on a wild ride that includes traveling, like you said, from the moon back to the earth to discover the Garden of Eden, as well as tracking down Logan's missing mother, who also, might I add, turns out to be a rather remarkable woman. Okay, maybe perhaps mom of the year. I don't know, but she was fantastic. Now, this fun time traveling, faith filled story has a way of grabbing both young and not so young readers' attention, where you soon find yourself rooting for Logan and Amy to successfully complete their mission. And again, I love how you subtly include the budding of Logan's faith in God along the way. So that's fantastic. I love it. I really enjoyed it. I don't generally read children's books just for whatever, but this one was great. Now I know you have your upcoming book, your forthcoming book, Sasquatch Loves Bacon Day, which I absolutely love that title. So go ahead and share a little bit about that. I obviously don't give it all away, but
Yeah,
share with us
yeah.
what you can.
So Sasquatch Loves Bacon Day is my debut picture book, my
Oh,
first one. I'm really excited. And
congratulations.
it's
Oh.
about a Sasquatch who loves bacon, and he lives on the mountain. And there's the one day of the year, National Bacon Day, that he comes down the mountain and comes to this little cabin where he meets up with his friend Lulu May. And he
Cute.
takes reign of the kitchen and he whips up all of these fantastic bacon dishes, and they do it together. And there's just different things that go on between them that just show a really beautiful, loving friendship. And she keeps asking, why do you do these things? And
Yeah.
he keeps expressing it's because he loves her. And so just going through that, through the story, and their sweet ending.
That sounds so fun. Oh, now can you tell us when that might be out?
Last I heard, it was supposed to launch this spring, which is like
Okay.
almost here.
I know. There we
And
are.
and yeah, I know the illustrator has been working really hard on it. She's
Okay,
doing
okay.
a beautiful job, and I think we may be waiting on those illustrations to be finished. We may be
Sure,
waiting on
sure.
something else. I'm not sure. I haven't heard.
Okay, gotcha. Well, we will wait in great anticipation. Going back to Cosmic Chaos, were any of the characters in that book based on people that you know?
Yes. So I was actually in the middle of writing a novel and had ideas for Cosmic Chaos. I was just jotting those down, did a little bit of research, but kept it aside because I wanted to stay focused on the novel that I
Sure,
was working on
sure.
to get to the end. And then my young cousin ended up coming to live with us, and he was about the same age as Logan.
Mm.
And all he wanted was to be able to get back to his mom. And I
Oh,
was thinking, oh my gosh, I have my main character living in my house right now, and I'm hearing all of his comments, and just that longing, that
oh
feeling,
yes.
that longing. And I thought, I need to focus on this book, Cosmic Chaos, right now while he's living in my home. And so he was such a great sport about it too, because I told
Mhm.
him what I was doing. He was like, "Yeah, sure." And so
Oh,
after he did end up getting back to his mom, just like
oh,
in the story,
good, good.
and after his return, every time I saw him, he was asking, "How's that book coming along? Are you finished with the book yet?" And so then I had like this person keeping me on track
Mhm.
to finish it and to push for
Oh,
that goal instead of slipping back to the other novel that I was working
sure,
on.
sure. Oh, that is so exciting. I love it. I'm sure he loves that. I mean, he's
Oh
gonna
yes.
carry that with him, all of his days. "Hey, so my cousin wrote a book about me called Co," and here it is, by the way. I love you got it there as well. But how fun. I mean, what a great legacy even. So
Yeah.
that's great. Now, if you were to write perhaps a spinoff, from Cosmic Chaos about a side character, who would you pick?
I actually had some ideas for that and took down some notes.
Great.
I was thinking about writing a younger version, maybe a series based on Ben, the younger brother
Oh,
of Amy.
yes.
And he's really interested in fiddling with that robot that does time
Mm,
travel and
mhm.
just his different experiences and how he accidentally ends up time traveling.
That is such a great idea. I'm gonna recommend that because Ben is a great guy, and he loves peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, y'all.
Yes.
Definitely loves them so much, which I can't argue with him there. So they're good stuff. So all right, well, thank you. That's a great idea. Now, along with being a children's book author, you've also completed many award-winning manuscripts. Can you please share with our audience, first of all, what a manuscript is and a little bit about the ones you've written?
Sure. So a manuscript is the typed out story from beginning to end, and it's in a certain format that you put it in, and it's basically ready to be published. It just hasn't been published yet.
Okay.
And so I have all of these manuscripts that I've put together, mostly because I have I've had these young kids and raising my children and homeschooling and working in all the different elements that I have been juggling. And so I love to write. I love the creative process of writing. And so for me, it's a great escape and something different to do. And so the other side of that in getting it published is a whole nother thing. And so you
Sure.
have to write synopsis, pre-letters, book proposals, and all those things that I really don't like doing. And
I don't
so
blame
there's
you.
that part of it. And then there's also the side where you have to have a platform that you've built
Of
up
course. Of
so
course.
that publishing houses will want to be able to see that you have an audience.
Of
And so
course.
didn't really have a platform all those years, had the kids at home, just really needed the outlet of writing. And so now I'm getting to the point in my life where I can spend more time on platform and I can start to
Good.
do something with those manuscripts.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Well, like I mentioned to you just a little while ago before we started this interview, some of those titles are phenomenal. And I was going to mention that if anyone is interested to check out Carol's website at, I believe it's carolemarieshelton.com.
CaroleMarie.com.
Carolemarie.com. Thank you. Now, what is the most valuable piece of advice you've been given about writing?
To keep at it.
Ah,
So after,
perseverance.
yes, so after you've sent off your manuscript to a publishing house or an editor and you're waiting and waiting and waiting to find out what's going to happen, keep
Ah,
going with your writing. If you get stuck on a manuscript, it's okay to set it aside. Get going on something else. Just keep keep going. If you have ideas, if you're
mm,
out and about and you have an idea, don't think, "Oh, I'll remember that," because you
mhm.
probably won't. Write it down as soon as you can. I have a little notebook in my purse where I'm jotting down ideas and notes all the time.
Oh, that's
And
such a great idea. Yeah.
there's been times at work where I'll be on the phone with somebody and I'll soon get this bing of an idea and I'll be like, oh my gosh, can you hold on for just a minute? And I'll take a little piece of paper, I'll write it down on a sticky note and I'll shove it in my purse. And there has been some times where I've gotten home from work for the day and there's like this blob of notes.
Oh my goodness.
So I'm like, I need to get these written out before well, I can still read my handwriting and I still know what they say.
Mm, it's so true. I
Yes.
been there myself. Oh, that's such a great answer. So thank you. Absolutely. Now, what surprised you the most, either while writing or after publishing your book?
I think what surprised me most was all the work that comes after your book is published,
Oh, yeah.
because you really have to be on top of working toward sales and marketing. And I am
Mm-hmm.
not a salesy person. And I just thought, as long as the book is out there, people will see it and they'll want to buy it.
Of
Well,
course.
you
Yeah.
really have to work to do things where people are seeing it. And
So true.
it's
So
not my
true.
favorite thing, but I'm working on it.
Well, that's good. I know I heard that exact same answer from many authors. Now,
Yeah.
do you plan to write any books in the future? And if so, can you tell us a little bit about them? Outside of, I know you just kind of mentioned the ones about Ben, a little side story there, but anything else?
So I have three projects that I'm currently working on. One is about a young girl living in Alaska, and she finds a velociraptor that's hatching from an egg. She doesn't know what it is
Oh,
yet. She
sure,
thinks it's a
sure.
weird looking baby bird.
A
And,
raptor, though, really quick, Carol.
and so
I've
she's
seen Jurassic Park. Those are not the best. Could have been
right.
one of those nice, what are they? Not triceratops. What are the really tall ones, long necks? Oh my goodness, I'm totally blanking out on them right now.
Like it's a brontosaurus or
Thank you.
brachiosaurus, something like
Yes, that's
that.
it. Those are my favorites. Anyway, sorry.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead. My
Okay.
apologies.
So through this story, she ends up discovering what this creature really is, and she wants to keep it as a pet, but her parents are like, "This is not going to happen." So she ends up going through this process of dealing with that. But the little baby velociraptor actually helps her with her reading because he becomes her reading buddy. She doesn't like to read, and she's reading to him, and it just really encourages that. So that's my little Velociraptor
I
story,
gotcha.
Velociraptor
Yes,
story.
gotcha.
And another story that I'm working on right now is about a 12-year-old Sasquatch. And he's very introverted and quiet. He doesn't want to go anywhere or do anything. But his clan requires that he goes out for his squatching tour, where he goes to different forests in Oregon and has to forage different foods to bring back.
Sure, sure.
Every Sasquatch has had to do this, and now it's his turn, but he doesn't want to do it.
Oh,
And through a series of different events, he ends up finally out foraging. He's pretty grumpy about it, and he discovers that his sister has hidden in one of the baskets that he's carrying. So now he has to deal with his sister.
oh
She's very
no.
rambunctious and not easy to deal with. And so in
Sounds like
that
a lot of
process,
sisters. I know, myself
yeah,
included.
yes. And in trying to figure out how to get his sister back, but also finish his tour, he runs
Okay.
across a fawn, Faun, like in Chronicles of Narnia.
Uh-huh.
And the fawn is supposedly lost, and so then he's left with the realization: either he helps this fawn and his sister get home,
Mhm,
or
mhm.
he focuses on himself and finishes his
Mm.
tour on time. Because if he doesn't finish on time, he'll get kicked out of the clan.
Oh,
So
no.
he's stuck with this decision
Yes.
he has to make.
Oh, oh,
So
such a great story.
so
Oh, that's
that
that's
story. And then I am also trying something new. I have all of these really fun, wildly creative science stories that have to do science fiction that has to do out in outer space.
okay, love
And
it.
I'm working on putting those into a graphic novel format, linking them all
Oh.
together and doing a graphic novel, which the format for writing those is completely different from writing a regular novel
Oh,
or
okay. You are so creative. This next question I have, can you name an underappreciated novel that you love?
Yes. So we are big fans of dinosaur stories, but
Mm,
almost everyone seems to have an element of evolution in it.
yes.
So that's
Sure.
that's one of the inspirations for Cosmic Chaos, is to be able to integrate the whole dinosaur scene in
Sure.
the Garden of Eden and
Sure.
allow kids to read about it without evolution. But there is another book that myself and my kids really enjoyed
Mhm.
that has dinosaurs in it without evolution, and it is, I brought it out. It's called The Truth Chronicles. See, it's even got a dinosaur
Oh,
at the
I
top.
love it. I love it.
So
My
it's
fellow
about
dino fan. Uh-huh.
yeah, it's about these kids. They are very science minded,
Mhm.
technologically savvy, and they put together a time machine And
Ooh.
they're able to travel back to the time of dinosaurs. So we really enjoyed that
Awesome.
one.
That is awesome. Well, thank you. No, I appreciate it. I love that your kids love it with you. So that's even better. So perfect. All right. So Carol, where can we purchase your books?
On Amazon.
Okay, great. Do you have a website as well that will link us to where we can
Yes.
also purchase the books? That's what I was
Yes.
saying. And that's the carolemarie.com, correct?
Right. CaroleMarie.com.
Got it. Okay, great. Well, thank you. I hope you have enjoyed meeting our author in the spotlight today, Carole Marie Shelton. If you would like to be featured as an author in the spotlight, please let me know in the comments below or send me a message through Facebook Messenger for details. If you've enjoyed this podcast, please be sure to give us a like and share this video with your friends. If you would like to receive notifications of future shows, please be sure to hit that notification bell and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss a thing. And while you're at it, please be sure to check us out on Facebook at the Girl Read Your Bible Study Group. Thank you for your support of this women's ministry. Carol, thank you again for joining me today. It has been such a pleasure getting to know you and learning more about your fun and faith-filled books. I pray God blesses you and all that you do as you work to bless others through your words.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely, my pleasure. Until next time, I pray peace, love, and blessings for you all.